know what? Sometimes all you have to do is remember who the fuck you are. Let me tell y'all a quick story time, right? So I have this person who's been in my life for 10 years. While I was on my expedition in Mexico, healing, not kikiking, doing deep soul work for 5 months, this person wants to do something for their birthday, which happens to fall in May. So what do? I plan a birthday trip from top to bottom. She didn't have to lift a finger. You hear me? You see me? That's the type of person I am. Okay. Mind you, we already agreed about this plan or whatever we had going on in January. So why is it June and this person still hasn't paid me back for the trip? And my birthday just passed literally yesterday. And guess what? They gave me nothing other than a weak ass phone call and, well, I maybe we can hang out sometime. Maybe we can, because you want to go out. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, this person is receiving money from an outside source, and the outside source has an abundance of money. So why on my birthday are you telling me, yeah, the money he was giving me, well, I used it for myself. So the money that you're supposed to pay me back with, what? And so it disturbed me, and I learned a really big lesson about the Camila that I was versus who I am now. I'm glad I was disturbed because the old me would have brushed it off. No, I've been pouring into this person for 10 years. I am their one source of anything healthy in their life. And at the barest of minimum, on your birthday, I take a plane from a foreign country. I'm in the States for 24 hours just to pack for your birthday trip that I planned top to bottom. Fast forward to, you still don't have the fucking money? It's been 6 months. Fast forward to, well, yeah, he was giving me the money, but I used it for myself. And you know what? I was mad because I allowed this. I attracted this at 12. At a time when my life was really starting to go downhill, at home. So I understand why this type of person would be in my reality, but it's been a decade now, okay? And on a bigger scale, I understand that this cycle is fucking done. But yeah, guys, after a deep moment with myself and really sitting with the fact that I allowed this treatment for 10 years, I realized that the me today would never. And so that's why it's in my reality. It's a contrast of who I used to be versus who I am today. To be honest, I am blessed tenfold. So it's not about the money, it's about the principle. And it's about how I am treated and how I view myself. I do have loving, kind, amazing friendships. I have people and had people for my birthday go out of their way to please me and make me happy. So I don't lack. It's just in this one person, this one thing. And no more. This is your lesson that you don't have to fucking suffer. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. No more making excuses for people who don't fucking pour into you, or they simply don't have the pitcher of water to do so. And it was in me remembering who I am, the loving, giving, selfless woman that I am. I'm never going to change that for anybody or anything. So what does that mean? The old must be removed to attract the new. And like I said, I'm so blessed that I've already started that process. I have friendships and I have love in my life through strangers, through family, through little interactions. I have it. So I don't need this person at all. But I appreciate the lesson that came with her. And guess what? The lack of my presence is going to be the biggest fucking lesson that she's ever faced. I just wanted to share that. And remember who you are. It doesn't have to align with what it doesn't naturally align with. I'm here, so I'm going to stay here. Simple. I love you and good luck.
I cut off my best friend of 10 years because she didn't include me in her bridal party. She was my first best friend in college. She was really just like a party girl, the life of the parties. She started dating her and now fiance, and that's when things kind of got weird. So obviously I'm a black gay guy, and this friend was white, and she came from like a very like redneck-ish town. A lot of people that she grew up with were kind of like, racist and homophobic. which I didn't know this at the time. Like when I first became her friend, I kind of found all this out after. This person was literally a bigot and like pretty much hates people like me. And I say this because I was so close with all of my best friends, like partners and boyfriends, like before this one. This one in particular, I barely got to meet and barely got to see. Except this one time for her like 5th or 26th birthday. When they like first started dating, he kind of had like, you know, no choice but to meet me because he was really, really weird with me and just was very shy and like nervous. So I kind of thought like he's just, you know, awkward and shy. So I didn't really think much about it. After they made things official, I pretty much saw less and less of this friend. She was like never around when I would like hang out with her, which I thought was like very weird. Fast forward 2 years, she gets engaged. And around this time, she kind of started to distance herself from me. Like she would text me to like do favors and stuff for her, but that was like kind of it. Thinking back, and I'm like, she was trying to distance herself, so when she had to pick like bridesmaids, it wasn't like a big deal because like we just grew apart. My issue is, why are people that you've known for literally less than a year your bridesmaids and you have like 15 plus bridesmaids? 15 plus people. Meanwhile, me and this girl were like this. And you mean to tell me I'm not even like one of them? And he has 4 groomsmen. So even still, I could have been a groomsman. You know what I mean? One of my other best friends at the time had me in her wedding and I was on the groom side with her husband. I will always appreciate and like respect that moment. And that really taught me like my value and my worth in a sense, because I was like expecting not to be a part of that wedding because like, you know, I'm a guy. I'm sure they're not going to want me to be a bridesmaid and etc. Well, she broke the news to me and pretty much said I wasn't going to be a bridesmaid and not to get upset or take things personal. But like, how can I not take things personal when you have people in your wedding that you've known for less than a year and someone you've been friends with for like literally 8+ years at the time not even be considered? And we've gone through so many moments that like so many of her other friends just will like never experience because none of these other people went to her college. I wasted so much time on a friendship that like didn't even really matter essentially because you clearly don't, you know, value me as a person. And I know it all comes down to like my race, my sexuality, everything that makes me me. After that, I stayed friends with her for like, you know, pretty much a whole year after. I was like, you know what, whatever. I don't need to be in the wedding. But I realized this friend was still taking advantage of me and using me for like things of her benefit. Like, why don't you just ask one of your bridesmaids? You know, why are you asking me to do this? When it's clear you don't value my friendship. So I would just I started getting frustrated. And here was the cherry on top. So I got engaged last December on my birthday, December 23rd. And she knew I was getting engaged and decided to host a bridal party on my engagement day. Out of all the days in the year, why would you host a bridal shower on my birthday? That just tells me you had no intentions on coming to my birthday. I was fed up. And this was like the end of the year. So I was just like, you know what, girl, it's done. So I texted her pretty much saying, you know, this friendship just is not going anywhere. I just don't see the value in it anymore. And it's clear that you don't consider me, you know, a close friend. So I just don't want to waste any time. I'm an adult now. And I really just want to make time for people that care about me. And if you don't care about me, honey, goodbye. I told her, don't invite me to the wedding. I won't be in attendance. You're coming from like a bigot, racist, like homophobic family. I'm gonna feel so uncomfortable going to this wedding and standing out in like the crowd and everyone's looking at me like, who the heck is this? It's a Snapchat story that went out. And she sent a Snap story to like me and a group of our friends. And in this story, in the background, you can hear her fiance using the hard R. Hard R, and she was holding a baby. This gets me angry because like who uses that word in general and who would use that word in front of a baby? That's when you know it's deep-rooted racism. Not to mention her including a friend in this wedding that she literally hates. This friend in particular caused me so much harm when we went on vacation. She cut up all my clothes, really called me every terrible name in the book, and this was someone I considered a very close friend. She put her in the wedding and she talked so much crap on her and said she was the worst person alive. Why is she in the wedding? The whole situation is just toxic and I'm so happy I ended that friendship. But I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup off camera and I'll be right back with final thoughts. I finished my makeup look. I'm obsessed. All in all, know your worth. Never let anyone make you feel less than. I'm doing way better without that friend. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and let me know if you want me to elaborate on any more details. Love you guys.
I ended an entire 10-year friendship over one lie at a karaoke night. I was friends with this girl and we were childhood best friends. I loved her to death. There was nothing I wouldn't have not done for her. As time grew on and we went to different schools, we moved away from each other. She was starting to act and move a little bit differently than how she grew up. Her values slowly started to show me what type of person that she was and was becoming into her adult years. She came back for a weekend. She was like, hey, let's go out. Let's go to karaoke, something that we love to do. I had a guy friend who I had recently made friends with, and he was in the process of getting married. So he was a fiance. He had just proposed 2 months ago and they were planning their wedding. So he came out with us, met my girlfriend that night with us all at dinner before going to karaoke. He was actually having problems with his marriage. I'm like, oh my gosh, like you guys will work it out. I'm sure you will. You already made the decision to give the ring to her. I'm not one to ever budge in people's relationships or ever in people's businesses because that is not my place. I wanted to encourage him that I'm sure people get cold feet before they get married. My girlfriend at dinner, after not seeing her for like 6 months, she was like, no, you should just leave her. There's so many other girls out, blah, blah. And I'm like, you just met this guy. Audacity to say and give your opinion, such a strong opinion for him to just leave his wife. You don't even know his wife. I stepped out to go to the bathroom. This was like an hour in karaoke. We're all having fun, a little bit buzzed. I took a phone call. I came back about 15-20 minutes after. I saw my girlfriend sitting on my guy friend's lap, kissing him, literally tongue down each other's throat. I don't want to know, and I don't know what happened from the time that I left 20 minutes ago. How did that transcend to you sitting on his lap and kissing a married man? I went in and I was like, what are you guys doing? I pulled them off. I'm like, this is not okay. You are about to walk the aisle. I looked at her and I'm like, what are you doing? You just met him. She's like, yeah, but I like him. I like his vibe. And I said, I took my girlfriend and I went home with her. I said, what is happening? What is wrong with you? This is not okay. She apologized the next day. She said that she was so drunk. She didn't know what she was doing. She had too much alcohol in her. A week later, she went to eat with him again. If you can go out and do this, ruin your morals and your values, like who raised you? She ended up shortly going back into her school year, never even ended up seeing each other again. You literally just ruined a man's marriage. He did actually end up calling off the wedding. Literally ended a 10-year friendship over a karaoke night. Bye. I love you guys.